All right, let's switch the conversation up a little bit.
Before you start, I've heard people like announcers and other people, news outlets saying like, "Oh, the Burrow will be back. This is not his first. This is not his last Super Bowl." It's like, well, will he? I don't know. What do you all think? I mean, Marino got to Super Bowl early in his career.
Yeah,
never got back. Right.
That's where I was going to go with my next point.
Oh, okay,
so that was a good segue. Excellent segue. My question, and you're right. Dan Marino got to the Super Bowl in his second year, just like Burrow did, and everybody thought, "Oh wow, Marino's going to be in 4 or 5 Super Bowls," and he never got back. So my question was,
because remember too, he played for a team that was probably great that year, but historically not that great of a team.
And he played for arguably one of the best coaches ever, right?
I should take that back. At that point, they were historically a good team. But
they were pretty good.
But my point is him on the Bengals is not the type of team you see getting back multiple times, even if you think Burrow will. You know what I mean?
Well, that's right. And the Bengals also have a history of being cheap when it comes to front office spending.
He's not the quarterback of the Patriots here. Right. He's the quarterback of the Bengals.
All right. So my question was, based on the dust has settled now at the Super Bowl. Joseph, I'll start with you. Forget about free agency. Well, I shouldn't say that. As they're currently constructed and based on moves that they might make in the offseason, which of those two teams do you think has the better chance of returning to the Super Bowl?
I think the Rams do. I mean, kind of for the reasons we laid out, like,
right.
Just their talent. Not again, don't know what's going to happen to some of their guys. Who some guys might decide to retire. They could lose some guys or whatever. But it's not. And you talk about like Joe Burrow too. It's not like the Bengals are like 13-3 this year, and you're like, oh, here come the Bengals. Like, you're going to be here for years to come. Like, kind of like Mahomes came up with the Chiefs,
right?
With talent around him, and you're like, oh, Mahomes will be back, blah blah. Bengals kind of just got hot at the right time. You could argue, like, I don't know that they're going to be like perennial Super Bowl contenders.
Right.
I don't think it's a guarantee that he gets back to the Super Bowl, but it's assuming no injuries or he plays out his career, it's most likely he might get back at some point. But to answer the initial question, I think it's definitely the Rams.
Yeah. Nathan?
Yeah, it's the Rams. I mean, like just everything just said, basically. I mean, I feel like this was the Bengals' chance right here. I mean, this was their year. They have a good team. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not just between them and the Rams. Although then again, the Rams put everything in place for this one run.
Right.
So who's to say the Bengals won't be better than the Rams next season? You know what I mean?
Well, I agree. I'm gonna say it's the Bengals, and I'm gonna tell you why I think that. First of all, let's look at the Rams. Joseph alluded to this. They basically sold out on this thing. They said we're going all in to try to win the Super Bowl this year, and they did. Congratulations to them. But they don't have a first-round pick now for the next couple years. Okay, Matt Stafford, tremendous quarterback, but he's going into his 12th year, 13th year, something like that. He's not a Tom Brady by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, he had some rough patches during the season. I think he threw quite a few interceptions.
He threw a lot of interceptions.
What?
He threw a lot of
interceptions. He can be as bad as he can be good. Von Miller getting to the end of his career. They may not even be able to keep him based on the salary cap numbers. Aaron Donald, I don't think he's going to retire, but he's hinted at looking at his future and possibly retiring. Odell Beckham, I mean, I heard where he tore his ACL again. So the other knee, but he's got 2 ACL injuries. He's going into his 9th year. And Nathan and I talked about this. He was all happy Sunday night, but next year when things start going a little bad, is he going to still be as happy? Okay. Yeah. So I think the Rams have some issues. They're going to have to find a running back, I think, better than they've got. So I just think the Rams may have some more issues. Now, the Bengals, on the other hand, they're young, they're hungry. They've got most of these guys are going to be under contract still, so they don't have to worry about bringing them back. Okay. And really all they need to do is upgrade their offensive line. And that's easier said than done. But I think if they can do that, and they need to upgrade that cornerback position that right now they've got Eli Apple at, but I think they can do it. And I think they're hungry. Now let's look at the divisions. Okay. Both teams play in a very difficult division, right? I mean, the Rams are going to have to contend with the 49ers again. The Cardinals are going to have to contend with, and I'm sure the Seahawks are going to make some moves to improve that football team. So that's a very, very tough division. The Bengals, on the other hand, are in the same situation, right? You got the Ravens sitting there. Lamar Jackson's going to be back. They're probably going to be as good, if not better than they were. The Browns, who knows? I think they could possibly be better. All right, get back to where they were a couple years ago. And the Steelers are going to have a new quarterback, probably a young new quarterback, and they had arguably one of the best defenses in the league. So I just think all things being equal, I think the Bengals actually have a better chance.
Where's the question? Getting back next year? Or?
Which of the current teams do you think has the best chance as they're currently constructed? You know,
well, next year or just to get to another Super Bowl?
No, just to get back next year.
Next year.
Next
okay.
year.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, those are all good points. I don't know. Maybe it is the Bengals.
Well, I'm not trying to change your mind.
That's a good point. I don't know.
And then look at the conference. Let's look at the conference, okay? I think the Chiefs, while they're still going to be good, are on the downslide, okay? I don't think the Chargers yet have all the pieces in place to get there. The Raiders, I don't think, have all the pieces in place to get there. The Patriots, who knows? The Bills are probably going to be the key factor for the Bengals next year. I think the Bills are on the cusp of getting there. But you look at the NFC, you got the 49ers, you got the Packers, you got the Buccaneers. I mean, who knows what they're going to do, but they're probably going to still be pretty good. And then you look at the Cowboys, even though the Cowboys are the butt of jokes in the NFL, they still have a pretty good team. So I think it's going to be harder on the NFC side than it is on the AFC side.
Yeah, but again, if you're just talking next year, the Rams are going to have pretty much the same team next year. Like if years down the road, the Bengals are set up for more success than this Rams team.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But next year, they're basically going to be the same team.
If I don't know what their salary cap issue is. I mean, they may not be able to. They may not be able to bring every piece back. I don't know. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, it was a great season. I'm kind of sad that the NFL season is over now. Football is over. We have to go, about another 6 months or so to wait for football to start again. But but it was a great season. And we have a lot of stories that we could talk about in the offseason coming up. I mean, I think it's going to be an interesting offseason. I'll get you guys' take on this. I mean, you got the Aaron Rodgers situation. Is he going to go back to Green Bay? Is he going to go somewhere else? More than likely, you got other quarterbacks that are going to be on the move, probably big-name quarterbacks. Russell Wilson may be moving on. Jimmy Garoppolo may be moving on. What's going to happen with Deshaun Watson? Is he going to go to jail? Is he going to end up going to another team and end up being another great quarterback? What's going to happen in Miami now? I mean, you got a new coach down there who I think is 12 years old, and I don't think he's had a lot of experience. Is Tua going to be the guy that's going to take them to the promised land? What about the Chiefs? I mean, what's going to happen to the Chiefs? I mean, are they going to keep all their pieces? Is Mahomes going to get back to where he was 2 years ago? So I think there's a lot of good scenarios, and we got free agency coming up. We got the draft coming up. A lot of good things to talk about from a football perspective.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that it's one of the first off seasons where, we talked about the Rams having what it takes to repeat, but I don't think they're the hands-down favorite to get back. Like,
no,
maybe you think years past, the Chiefs will be back probably next year. I have to pick the Chiefs. Well, it's still kind of wide open, as to who gets there next year, I think, as well.
Yeah, I agree with that.